Okay, it's the morning of. Just going to get coffee and a burrito. I need to get instant coffee for my camp because it's going to be miserable without that. And I need to get some cash out. And I got to bring some quarters in case I need quarters to take a shower. It's going to be a beautiful day. Anyway, I'm just headed to Albertsons. Okay, here I'm trying to show the BDR section 1 for New Mexico, the track. I'll drag it up a little bit here, zoom in. That's Dog Canyon, that little dog leg down to the south. Basically, this is what I did today. All the way to Weed, right there where that gas icon is at. Kind of fumbling with the mouse here, zooming in and out. But there's Weed. That's where I tried to get gas. Hey, I'm headed out. Just leaving the house. First day of New Mexico BDR. Wish me luck. It's going to be a beautiful day. My plan today is to get to Weed or around Weed from Dell City and find a camp. Myra and Buggy are walking in the park. Okay, just gassed up in Valero. I think it cost about $8 to fill up, $7-8. Headed out Montana Avenue. I think it's Highway 28, which just heads east for a long time. But about 70 miles out is Dell City, and that's the start of the New Mexico BDR. Head over this little mountain range. The elevation will be about 4,000 to 4,500, something like that. Off to the right there, you can see that's Red Sands. It's an ATV area. They like their side-by-sides here in El Paso. Okay, this is the first and the last U.S. Border Patrol check station. They placed them within 100 miles of the border on all the roads to try to curb the illegal activities that are going back and forth across the borders. But as we all know, a lot of that still happens. But anyway, I have to stop here. He's probably going to ask me if I'm a citizen. They got cameras everywhere, all kinds of high-tech shit, spike strips, you name it. How y'all doing? All right, thank you. That was easy. Piece of cake. Glad they're out here. I respect their job, that's for sure. Anyway, on to Dell City. Let's ride. Alright, off in the distance, I don't know if you can see them. That is the Guadalupe Mountains, I believe. Anyway, the highest peak in
Texas. It's a very popular hike. Someday I'm going to do it, maybe this fall. Anyway, wide open country, beautiful day. It's about 60 degrees, speed limit 75. I'm making 69. Got her pinned. Keep her pinned and let's ride, like Brock says. Okay, this is the turnoff for Dell City. Guadalupe Peak is over there. Dell City, 13 miles. It's a beautiful day. I think it's like 65, 70 right now. Motor on. RV park. It's about 8 miles into Dell City, I believe. Kind of hazy, probably from the wind they've been having. That's Guadalupe Peak over there in the distance. Kind of barely make it out. I'm sure the GoPro's not showing how majestic it is. Great day for a BDR trip. Listening to a little Texas country rock, Midland. It's a cemetery. I always like stopping at cemeteries when I have time, just to look at the names, pay respects to those that have gone before us. Maybe there's some stories to be told there. Coming into Dell City. It's a small farming community. I think maybe 200 to 400 people. We'll see with the sign, but we're dropping into a little agricultural area. We've got some big alfalfa crops, looks like. Probably most likely that's all they do here. Something to feed the cattle. Growing hamburger seeds. Beautiful. Maybe that's wheat. Can't tell. Okay, my first fuel stop was here in Dell City. I pulled up to the Napa, and they have a sign up that says no gas. But the nice lady said she'd meet me down at the other fueling station, which only takes MasterCard, and she brought her MasterCard down, filled me up, and I drove back down here to pay her cash. But anyway, the lady's name's Debbie. Very nice lady. If you need gas and you don't have a MasterCard, go to the Napa. She said she used to sell gas, but since that place started only accepting MasterCard, everybody comes here, and she was just too busy and didn't want to deal with it. Anyway, I'm headed out, hopefully to hit the first dirt on the New Mexico BDR. Peace out. Okay, just leaving Dell City. Say goodbye to the green alfalfa fields. I think the dirt is less than a mile away. Probably about 10 miles to the New Mexico border for the official start of the New Mexico BDR. Okay, I just parked under the shade tree to get my GoPro started. This is where the road turns to gravel. This is the official start of the New Mexico BDR. I'm all fueled up. I got an extra 2 gallons and then plus my 3.6. I should have about at least a 200-mile range. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Okay, just turned right on the graph there. It looks like I'm headed towards Dog Canyon. A little bit washboardy, some big gravel with a few chunky rocks, but nothing difficult. Been keeping about a 45-mile-an-hour speed, no problem. Beautiful day. Off in the distance, that last ridge you can see is the end of Dog Canyon. Got to go all the way around down south and then start heading north again, up on top of the rim. I forgot the name of the rim, but I'll put it in later. Anyway, I got to pay attention to these rocks. Peace out. Beautiful day. Little sand, nothing big. Little off camber. Hi, cows. It says hamburger seeds up there on the hill. Alright, came to a junction here. Gotta turn right, head towards a schoolgirl tank. Pinon and Otero. I turn right here on G004. Anyway, it's been pretty out here. Ran across a couple sand sections. A lot of cattle out grazing in the hillsides. Very beautiful. The lady down at the store said they haven't had much rain lately. That's good. The sign says Guadalupe Mountains National Park, Dog Canyon, 29 miles. We're headed over there to go up on the Guadalupe Rim. I think it's called Guadalupe Rim. Taking a left dog leg here. There we go. I think within the hour I'll be up on top. Headed into Dog Canyon. The road seems to be made of like anywhere from 3/4 minus to 2 inch minus rock. Some of the corners are a little sketchy. Most of the time I've been making about 40 miles an hour, but for these curves and this stock front tire, I gotta slow her down a little bit. But it's definitely beautiful. That was the rock. I'm headed up there. Just got to take the long way around. Got my air pressure set at about 22 and 25 so I don't get any pinch flats. Last thing I want to do, knock on wood, is be changing a tube out here, but I'll do it if I have to. Anyway, this is a beautiful part of the section. If you don't like riding desert, you probably won't like it too much, but I love the desert. This would be hell if there was thunderstorms, because a lot of these washes are pretty deep. It's like a water catchment there for cattle. That's a man-made dam of some kind. It's probably to keep the manatees for the winter. Slow her down. Anyway, it's quite beautiful. I don't know about the rest of you guys who ride motorcycles, but this is my peace. Out in the universe, blending in with nature, and a little bit of throttle therapy. Back when I started dual sport, it was on an XR 650R, and that bike was a beast. It would handle this road a lot better than this 300, but this 300 is a lot more reliable, a lot tamer, better fuel economy, and just an overall easier bike for an old man like me. Anyway, I'll check in with you guys when I get back up, when I get up on top of the rim over there. This whole Dog Canyon is just beautiful country. We have the, haven't seen any ocotillo, but these little, I don't know what those plants are, but they're just beautiful. Alright, I'll check in later. Hi, cows. The first of many, I'm sure, we're going to see of those guys. Hey guys, you want to let me come by? Yeehaw! Hamburger seeds and half-grown hamburgers. How you guys doing? Do you guys know how far it is up here to Dog Canyon? See you later, guys. They're like, what the hell is that? It's gonna be our steak in a couple months, or hamburger. Yeah, this is some pretty stuff out here. Getting close to where I should be starting to climb up. This is like 2-inch minus stuff here, the gravel I'm talking about. Pretty big stuff. Okay, I'm almost to the turn where I start turning and heading back up. Dropping down into Dog Canyon proper, I think. Alrighty then, El Paso Gap, Dell City, Carlsbad. Looks like we're coming up to a well-weathered sign. Carlsbad, 65 miles. Lincoln National Forest, 4 miles. This is called El Paso Gap. And I'm obviously going to turn left here. Dog Canyon Campground, 6 miles. I'm not ready to camp yet. Woohoo! Vámonos! See how far this pavement stretch is. I'll check in when I get up on top. Just stopped off at the overlook because I had a battery that was dead. But if you don't use the battery, I took the battery out and I'm using my big battery that's taped to the side of my helmet. Seems to be working now. Them GoPros are a pain in the ass sometimes, but that's what I got. Anyway, I'm back on route. A little bit cooler up here, dry as hell. Super beautiful up here. I'm headed into Weed. I don't know how far it is. Yeah, let's roll up here and check out this rim, this angle. Beautiful. So that's the road I came in on. It comes out of Dell City, way down there. Dell City's over that way. Comes all the way around. We come all the way in, past the cows. Hit a little short stretch of pavement, I think 3 or 4 miles, and then we come up on this road. Anyway, peace out, peace to the world. God bless. Well, I pulled in the weed, about 1 bar off of empty, and got 2 gallons gas in a bag, that armadillo bag by Giant Loop. I'm glad I did, because their gas pumps broke. They ain't got no gas. But they offered me the Wi-Fi, because there's no cell service here, to make a phone call or something. They got me some venison jerky, big old gas tank, no way to pump gas. Anyway, Cloudcroft, I think, is down another 20 miles, so I got plenty of gas to get there. It's a beautiful day. I think it's about 50 degrees. Windy as hell on the way up. Bike's holding up pretty good. Hi, Myra. I'm in camp. I just had a cup of coffee. I got my tent set up. I made some Starbucks coffee. This is my camp. I've been sitting in my chair, cooked me some coffee. I got my sleeping pad and my pillow set up. My helmet, gloves, and jacket, and all my clothes are in there. My bike is right here. The bike worked great. Everything was good today. I didn't crash or nothing. And I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you guys. I love you, Buggy. Daddy loves you. And Mommy, Daddy loves you. Okay, I'm having fun. Bye. Well, I was trying to get some drone video. And the first thing I did at camp, got camp set up, is I pulled it out, flew it into a tree, and dropped it to the ground. So she's trash. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, time for a new drone, I guess. Well, it's a beautiful camp. I have to say I got my $300 worth out of this thing. I've had it since 2019. So it's time to upgrade. Wrap.